Hey guys, it's Nick from F150LEs.com. Today we're here in our 2009 to 2014 Ford F150 series truck, and we're showing you how to install our upgraded Mkii Ambient LED lighting system. Now our Mkii system features audio sync, so the lights can sync with your music, which is a really cool feature. Of course, it's got the wide range of different color static selections that you can make. It's got some pre-built-in slow fade modes, all of this controllable by this wireless remote. Now, once your kit's installed, it's going to power on and off automatically. It's going to have memory settings, so to remember what you left it on. So once you get your favorite setting, everything's going to be automatic. So when you get in your truck, they're just going to turn on, and it's going to be a really great upgrade to your F-150 experience. Now, our Mkii kit's got 7-zone lighting, including here in the center console, or if you don't have a center console, you got that bench seat that's going to have lighting for underneath that seat as well. So it's a great all-around kit. We made a lot of great upgrades. The install is pretty easy, and we're going to show you how it's done right now. Before we get started, let's take a quick look at some tools that will help during the install. A flathead screwdriver to help remove some trim pieces and hide some wires. A 9/32 wrench or socket wrench for our ground bolt connection. Some pliers or fuse removal tool when we have to use our easy fuse tap connector. And then some scissors or some wire cutters just to clean up from when we use zip ties to bundle up any excess harnesses. Okay, so we're going to start our installation here behind the rear passenger seat. And the first thing that you want to go ahead and do is separate your 3 shortest light lengthwise wires here from your bundle. So these 3 wires here are our shortest lengths, and we're going to use those here on our passenger seat, one rear facing underneath, one front facing underneath the seat, and then there's going to be a light on the passenger underneath the front dash as well. Okay, so these 3 shortest wires, we're going to start here under our rear passenger seat with those, and also this top wire is our controller here. So you're going to go ahead and set that aside here on this passenger. Just go ahead and run the rest of your lights and wires here on the driver's side, kind of out of your way for now, because again, we're going to be starting here, and we're going to start with this under passenger seat rear facing light. Okay, to get our first light here installed under the passenger seat for our rear lighting, go ahead and run it through this seat post from the center console side. And now there's a plastic, basically upholstery clip that runs the length of this seat, and that's what we're going to attach our strip to. These are very versatile. You really can mount them wherever you'd like. Make sure the surface is cleaned thoroughly, like we've done, and then just mount your light up under the seat. All right, so we've got our bundle placed here between the passenger seat and the center console. And then we run our second shortest light strip here under the seat to the front. So there's a cross member bar that we're going to use to mount the light. It's really difficult to show you because of the camera, the angle, and it's hard for us to get the camera in there, but we're going to put a picture up on the screen. Before applying your 3M adhesive, make sure the cross member bar is cleaned thoroughly. To install our front dash light here, what we're going to want to do is run our 3rd wire that we set aside for our passenger seat through the center console and passenger seat channel, and then we're going to mount it up under the dash here. There's a front facing kind of angled side here that's going to provide maximum brightness, but if you want a little bit more of a hidden look, there's a back angle. We're going to use that right here. Make sure that you clean the surface thoroughly with our included surface adhesion promotion wipes. Okay, with our light mounted, now we just need to route our wire so that you can't see it. We're just going to run it behind this plastic trim here. Now you can pull here to remove the trim and just put it back on, or if you like, I'm just going to go ahead and run it under with my fingers, and then any tight spots I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver to just kind of push it back up under. Now that we've got our 3 passenger lights installed and the wires tucked up out of the way, take your next longest light wire, and we're going to use that for our center console. So let's go ahead and open up our center console lid, remove your 3M backing, we've already done that. Make sure that your surface is cleaned all the way. I'm going to mount the light right below this catch lip here that holds supports the center console lid. Of course, you can put it anywhere in here that you'd like. Let's see. Okay. And wow, once our light is mounted, let's take a flathead screwdriver, because this is what we're going to use to just kind of gently pop this trim piece up here and allow us to hide our wire. Okay, so just some gentle pressure up. We'll pop this trim tab loose. Then we're going to run our wire up under, like so. And then our wire basically is going to enter the center console right here, kind of towards the center. Feed it in. You don't want a lot of extra wire here in your center console seat. And then run the wire down the length of this trim beneath the seat. And then pressure back down. And our wire is hidden. And our center console light is installed. Now we can install our driver's side lights exactly like we did on the passenger side. So start by taking your longest wire and running it to your driver's side dash light. And then after we install that, the 2 remaining lights that you have are going to be for your driver's side seat, the front and rear facing lights. Now after our lights are installed, you can use a flathead screwdriver and simply tuck the wiring here under your center console to hide it. So what we need to do now is take our custom power connector and attach it to the passenger fuse panel box, which is right behind this plastic here. So you've got the end of this connector is going to attach to our controller of the ambient light system. And then we've got a ground ring terminal, which we're going to need to connect to a bolt, which we'll show you in just a second. And then we've got our easy fuse tap connector. So this is an extremely easy thing to use. What you're going to do is basically, depending on which fuse the instructions tell you to use, based on your year model, you will take the fuse out of this passenger fuse panel and insert it into this open spot. Then you will put this fuse adapter right back into where you took that fuse out of. Okay, so it makes it extremely easy. You don't have to do any splicing or anything like that. Now it's hard for us to show you on camera because of the angles, but we'll show some pictures up, and be sure to reference the instructions included with your kit to tell you which fuse to use. Okay, so to access the fuse panel, you can kind of reach forward, and there's kind of like a handle that you can feel, and you just kind of pull out, and that'll release that. That actually gives you access to the fuse itself, and you'll be able to pull out a covering. So after you take this large cover off, there's actually a smaller covering like this that you'll be able to squeeze the sides here and slide off. And you also take note that it tells you which fuses are which. Okay, you won't need this after you install your fuse tap. Now, to gain access to our ground bolt, we're going to also pull on this plastic shroud covering, just like so. And that'll give us complete access to the fuse panel and the ground bolt, which is located right here. First, let's go ahead and connect our ground terminal ring to this bolt located here using a 9/32 wrench. Make sure to look at the instructions that are included with your kit to identify exactly which fuse to remove from your fuse panel. The fuse you remove goes directly into the fuse tap, and then the fuse tap reinstalls where your original fuse was in the passenger fuse panel. Make sure the fuse tap is seated fully. With our power connector connected to our fuse panel, let's go ahead and attach it directly to our controller unit here, and then we're going to mount it with the 3M on the backing right to this trim piece. Now we've also got some included screws that we can also use to further strengthen this mount. Make sure that your receiver port here is open so that your wireless remote can control the unit. And then we're going to tuck the rest of our wiring here under this rubber door trim and then under this door sill plate. So that's all there is to installing our LED Ambient Mk2 system here on a 2009 to 2014 Ford F150 series truck. It's a great upgrade. Tip to remember here on this wireless remote, on the up and down arrows. If you're on a static color like this, the up and down arrows will adjust the intensity of the light. If you're on a slow fade mode like this, the up and down arrows will adjust the speed at which that fade is happening. And if you're on an audio sync function, it's going to adjust how sensitive your sound receiver is to your music. So if it's picking up too many beats, you can just press the down arrow a few times and adjust it that way. It's a great and excellent kit. It really does improve the aesthetics of your interior and really upgrades the F150 experience. So we highly recommend the kit. You can check it out at f150leds.com, where you'll find all of our custom LED lighting products built specifically for your Ford F150. We truly appreciate your support. Be sure to click the subscribe and thumbs up button below, and we'll see you at f150leds.com.